Okay, we're gonna try something a little bit different here. We are going to try and do some recorded gameplay, and I'm gonna try and do some voiceover after the fact. So we'll just jump right in. I mean, I'm choosing Apprentice Stone, Julianos for this. We're doing a sunlight build, focusing on sunlight weapons, light armor. Maybe we'll do some alteration. Maybe we'll do some illusion. I still haven't fully decided. Full disclosure, this is like the, I don't know, third or fourth time I've tried to do this build. I keep dying into bandit content. So I decided that I would just go ahead and record an episode and put some work into it. And then that would give me more of an incentive not to do stupid shit and die. So we're doing our normal camping in the woods start. Starting with a Kinnereth necklace and mage circlet. A little bit extra stamina early to help out. And of course we need our magic cash. I've started to take cure disease potions early. I feel kind of bad for just being cheesy and adding them, consoling them in when I can just might as well just take one. So we're gonna do our classic meme start here. If you've watched the stream before, you've seen me do this a million times. Just all the Riverwood Whiterun, not all the bandits, but most of them. We'll see here. And I just kind of tear through all these camps, honestly. The first couple of iterations, I didn't do much with the sunlight weapons early. I kind of focused on physical weapons and waiting until I get the perks. But this time I just full sent it, kind of. Decided to not go evasion, not go alteration, just go restoration. One-handed for being able to break bows and stuff, and then go straight for enchanting, actually. And I think it actually works out pretty well for this. We're just gonna skip around here, you know, doing some slaughterfish slaying. Not much to see here, me swinging my mace a million times. Same thing for mud crabs and stuff. Get a good amount of insights here early on. Able to get my enchanting up to level 10, so our first perk is definitely going to be going into infusions, just to get that extra bit of damage. And here we get extremely lucky. No Grand Soul Gem, but we do get a honed ancient Nord Mace of Ice, so super nice pickup here. Because we have this, we can definitely take on that conjurer over there, which we'll see in a moment. Here, you know, got our classic Meech moment. Nearly dying to wolves, level 1. Gotta love it. I'll speed up the footage a little bit here, just so you don't have to watch me waiting for stamina. Waiting for my health and stamina, yeah. Just doing the classic terrain cheese, so I don't have to worry about these guys. The sunlight weapons early do consistent damage, but it's just not a lot. So if I want to do some good burst damage, like against these wolves and against this conjurer, then I'm going to definitely need to use this honed ancient Nord Mace of Ice. Pretty much the best weapon you can find there for a one-handed build, honestly. And then we do get lucky here, and we get some nice gloves of the, give ourselves a little bit extra armor rating. And then I didn't take evasion perks early, so it's nice to get these, so that I don't have to rely on wearing light armor to get the armor rating. I can get these nice cloth gloves and still get some armor. Here, it's the classic bite off, like random wolf gank. I think it's just 3, and it turns out that it's 6 wolves or whatever. So, you know, gotta do some terrain cheese. It's very fascinating. And there we go. Case in point, I get rock joint. This is what the cure disease potion is for. Boop. Excellent. So we're just doing our start here, going around getting chests, the free novice chests for a chance of insights, killing some wildlife. Should be low risk. I seem to be playing it kind of silly. So it's a little bit higher risk than it needs to be with those wolves. But in my defense, that was a lot of wolves there. You know, just doing some mud crab slaying. The crab slayer, back at it again. Can't be stopped, won't be stopped. And for our troubles, up to 15 restoration. Here's something I started doing recently. There's a chance that she can have an insight here, and it is stolen, but when you take loot items from chests, it doesn't count as, it doesn't increase your item stolen miscellaneous stat, which is nice. So if there's like a insight in there, I'll yoink it from the fisher. He doesn't need it. He's staying at level 1. First level up here, going into stamina early, just so that I can get a little bit of stamina regen. And like I said, first perk is going into weapon infusions. Just the extra damage it gives is really nice. And we are Dunmer, so we do get extra infusion damage. I did take Apprentice Stone. Oh, I guess I didn't even really explain. So I'm Dunmer, Apprentice, Julianos. Just really trying to get a really strong sunlight build going here. And infusion damage gets kind of nuts later on once you get Julianos Champion, Dunmer, and then eventually we'll swap off of Apprentice. Apprentice is really nice early for infusion. Like, you'll notice here that during these fights, I don't have to worry about my regen at all. Like, I don't even have the sunlight weapon perk yet. And just from being Apprentice Stone, I'm able to regenerate. So you can see, like, already the damage is really nice. So Apprentice Stone does lower infusion damage, but since we're Dunmer, it kind of offsets. I don't know the percentages off the top of my head. I could probably look that up, but it's too late now. So yeah, we're just going to be tearing through all of these bandit camps. It goes much smoother than my previous attempt at this when I was trying to use physical weapons, and then as I slowly perked into restoration and enchanting, just full sending with unperked sunlight weapons and then infusions is enough early to just like roast these guys, especially if they're opting to block. If you block against me, you're gonna die. I do end up going for block early, so I'm prioritizing, of course, enchanting first, so I can get some infusions, some extra damage. Then I'm going for restoration levels, trying to get the first sunlight weapon perk, so I can have pretty much infinite magic regen, which is great for infusions, especially early. And then after that, I'm gonna do block, because I could go alteration, very solid choice. I can have some absorbing, I can get, you know, a little bit extra health from transmute muscles, a little bit extra tankiness. But I just kind of, where I've died on this build, where I have focused on alteration early, is having extra health and having extra tankiness doesn't really matter when you run out of stamina. So this time I'm trying something else out. I'm trying out block early so that I can have a source of stamina regen in a pinch. Normally light armor builds, I mean, you don't want to ever get hit, but for this one, I mean, we have really nice regen. I mean, we have nice magic regen, and we can heal ourselves when we need to, once we get the appropriate spells, of course. So I'm trying out to see how it feels as prioritizing block over other defensive magic schools. So yeah, I mean, if they're blocking against me, they're gonna die. It's as simple as that. And then all the archers just get run down. Using my patented swivel movement, the serpentine. Impossible to hit, impossible. I think we do get kind of unlucky with our insights here, though. Yeah, no insights there. So, yeah, let me know about this format. I can do it different ways. Right now it's very loosey-goosey, like there's no script or anything. I'm just I've edited down and made the cuts that I wanted, and then now I'm just going back through and rewatching the playback and commenting as I go, based off of what I remember from playing this. Let me know if you like this. So it's kind of like a in-between. It's not really like a prepared video, and it's not a stream either. It's kind of like a... You get the same sort of terrible stream of conscience that you would from a stream, but in video format. But at least you get the what do you call it? You get all the combat and action in a concise format. Here I did kill those crabs and wolves and stuff, but I mean, who wants to see that? So get a little extra stamina, get some health or healing, and we're on to the next camp. So White River Watch, yep, it's the classic. Bait the melee guy, and then rush down the archer after you kill this guy. This is the best part about like sunlight weapons and infusion builds, is like you have those super tanky heavy armor and orcish armor bandits, and they just like, it doesn't matter at all. You just crush them. It's a similar feeling to like my poison builds that I like to do. It's just like, that heavy armor is not going to help you. I mean, it's the same thing for mage builds too, so I'm just talking a bunch of shit, obviously. Yeah, just get a little baked potatoes, a little vegetable soup. We've been lucky enough to find leeks. Leeks are a very rare commodity in Lalaland. You can't find them laying around randomly in bandit dungeons anymore, and you can't harvest them. I think you can buy them from the farmers and stuff, but you know, who wants to do that? But we did find a single leek in the inventory of a dead bandit.
Boss was looking for you, said it'd be up to something.
So, I mean, you can tell we're starting to get some decent damage for level 3 unperked sunlight weapons here. A smack into a swing power attack combo was enough to take him down. And so really just focusing on spacing well, because I don't have any evasion perks, I don't have dodge, I don't have any tankiness, I don't have alteration or illusion. It's really just trying to space well and not overextend against ranged bandits, which is easier said than done, and I do end up overextending a little bit, but spoiler alert, I do not die in this episode, because then I would never have uploaded it. But since I have put work into this and I'm going to upload it and everything, then I am playing with Ad Mortem, so you know, just so you know that I'm not going to try and cheese you, but I would never do that. So when I die, I'm going to die, and I'm going to post it. So I'm not waiting to see, like, record like 5 episodes to make sure I don't die early before posting anything. I'm just doing it right as we go. The stakes could not be higher. So yeah, super nice. The build made for Julian. Hit those shields. And here we have, I think, 3 ranged bandits. So go ahead and use the scrolls. You can't take them with you when you die, so might as well use them. And there, I think about going up and trying it out, but... And then this guy stupidly just walks towards me, so... Or towards the scamp, even. I mean, that's 2 enchanted bolts that this guy has absorbed for me, so... Definitely a win here. I'm just waiting for them to use their shoot. So I hear the bolt go, so it's time to go in. You do have to watch out for the tricksters, even when you break their bow. Sometimes they're even more dangerous with their bow broken, honestly. when they pull out like enchanted weapons. I've seen elven daggers of absorption on these guys, or on like high level ranged. Did I say tricksters? I meant ranged bandits. So I mean, that is terrifying to deal with. I never really realized that there was a potion there. I wonder if that's always there or what. But nice, remarkable find here. I could be harvesting these ingredients, but I'm kind of opting not to. I could be doing like unperked alchemy, but I'm just, you know, not bothering for now. I might go alchemy with this later. I'm definitely going enchanting, so we'll see. It probably would be good to go alchemy, honestly, just to get extra tankiness and magic and stuff. So I am trying to do like my last build, where at the Imperial quarterstaff build, trying to do all the main bosses and everything. I think Sunlight build is like one of those that's just like super nice for that. Get the classic feather falling ring, the ring that never leaves the inventory. Not quite enough to get 35 restoration for our Sunlight weapon perk, but enough to level up. So we took our first two perks, or our first two level ups. We did stamina and attack speed. Now we're going to do a little bit more into get some health and tankiness. So white watchtower. Pretty much the guards just take care of everything. Sometimes the bandits are high enough level that they kill a guard or two, you can get a nice crossbow. This time was not the case. Oh, interesting. I went up to the top of that tower, got an insight, and I was able to level up to 35 restoration. And so you can see that I have the Sunlight weapon perk now. You can see the magic regen active effect come when I hit these guys. So I do have slightly perked Sunlight weapons now. Still not enough to take on the troll, so we have to enlist some help from our friendly neighborhood bandits. Got a little skeeved out here, taking damage. Didn't want to keep spamming attacks on the troll just to run out of stamina and be used as a bandit pincushion, so yeah. Whose side is the troll on? Are we fighting the troll, or are we letting the troll do our dirty work? We will never know. But so far, these bandits are too weak to even help me with this troll, really. Here we go. Got the OP Dunmer, and his power attacks actually do some good damage, so able to take him down, and subsequently take down the Dunmer bandit. All right, and then rushing the last archer. So now we're in a pretty comfy position. We have nice magic regen. We have heal self too, so we can pretty much always be at full health at the beginning of every combat. Then we have the OP chest. I think it's bad luck to get this chest on the first try. I feel like every time I do get on the first try, my builds subsequently die very quickly afterwards. So we'll take it as a good omen that, you know, I just whiffed 5 times or whatever, trying to bash open that chest. So yeah, we got to restoration 35. Now we're going to work on block. Block is just so good too, late game. Any source of elemental damage resistance besides just regular elemental resistance is like so nice when you're trying to fight Mirek. So stuff like the alteration perks and the block perks that reduce spell damage, and I think they also give, yeah, extra elemental resist while blocking as well. So definitely very nice to have. Here I'm desperately trying to find some sort of ranged option that I can use to knock down the pots here to get some fire damage, but I haven't taken any crossbows. I think I've broken every single crossbow that I've seen. So we just do it the old-fashioned way. The run before this one, I died at Halted Stream, pretty much because of the spirit wolf just like following me, and I think I let it hit me once and it like sapped all of my stamina, so little sketchy here. Nothing we can't handle though. The boss is a ranged bandit, so that's definitely, yeah, there we go. Very scary. We did opt to use a deficient fortify health potion, I think, which is where my health pool is coming from. I've only put one level up into health so far. So that plus Nord Mead is what's getting us our 186. Only 175 armor though, so still very squishy. If the right ranged bandit with like a Dwarven bow and some sort of enchanted high tier arrow hits me, then it's lights out. But this guy has, I think it's a light bow. I think he's got an elven bow actually. So that was actually kind of scary. I mean, but we were able to clean them up. Really, you know, I do that stupidly a lot, is going into low stamina. Doing the slow swings. But it works out sometimes. It doesn't work out other times. So here we have some high enough quality armor that I opt for swapping off of my plain robes. Essentially, the plain robes are like 120 armor because they're 12%. And the scale armor was like 185 or 190 armor or something like that. So worth it now, even though it does reduce our movement speed to like 85. Makes it a little bit harder to space, but the extra armor is quite nice. And we are Apprentice Stone, so we don't really have to worry too much about the extra spell costs because Apprentice reduces it so much already. So we're able to easily cast our Enhanced Constitution and Sunlight Mace and Sunlight Shield. So yeah, just continually going for block, get a level up. I think we go into health again. Yeah, health and damage resistance. That little bit of damage resistance every level, it adds up. So, and we definitely don't need the one-handed damage or the shout reduction. So, I mean, what else are you gonna get? Get our first block perk. Try to make our way to our level 30 experience blocker. On to Mr. Ron. Ron the Crow. See if we can get Bouncer. Although since we have the honed Ancient Nord Mace of Ice, Bouncer isn't as alluring as our backup physical option. Looks kind of weird with just with like the gloves, scaled armor, and then some gloves. Just trying to bait out some arrows here using our ancestral ward. But if you don't know why I keep going for a sunlight shield, it doesn't give you any extra armor, but it does increase the damage of your sunlight weapons, how much damage they do. So that's why we've been running around with it, is to have some extra DPS. Here, just kind of playing the wait and bait game. Wait for them to try and charge me or get too close that I can easily get into range. Because yeah, one arrow hit puts me at half health. So definitely scary here if you take subsequent hits from these archers. Just waiting for Ron to eventually get close enough where he'll swap to his mace and run around the corner. Yeah, I think that's a longbow, a wood elf with a longbow, so Kind of scary there if we get crit by that. Not bad damage there. One swing does about 90 damage. And then we can interrupt infusion, and then the infusion will proc on our shield bash. We don't have the shield bashing perks yet, but we get the infusion damage. So yeah, we really just embarrass Ron. Ron has fallen from grace so hard. He used to be such a menace, but only because he would hit you with that random bullshit power attack. That isn't bullshit, but it did like 3 times damage, or like he did 3 times damage. So if you let him hit you, he just cooked you immediately. But here he can hit you, and if you have block or whatever, it's not that big a deal. Unless, you know, he sends you flying. But that's why it's good to go to White River Watch before coming here. Get yourself a feather falling ring, and then he can send you flying, and it doesn't matter how far you fly, how far down you fall. You're going to be all right. Unless he runs up to you and beats your ass while you're, you know, on the ground. Then you might have some problems. So yeah, looking at the damage is the exact same between Bouncer and the Honed Ancient Nord Mace. But the Mace, of course, has a Frost enchant on it, so it will be doing more damage for the most part. Yeah, but you can tell that we're kind of feeling ourselves with this build a little bit because we're, you know, throwing out the power attacks without any sort of, without the power attack perk yet, which is a good way to die, by the way. Soul Trapping Maces, or Staff, is actually kind of useful because I do want to, I'm not really going for Conjuration, and I'm not going to be using enchanted weapons, really, so having a source of Soul Trap is nice. And then we get the beautiful, beautiful level 30 block, but not enough perks yet. And that perk is actually kind of useless for a shield that weighs less and has more armor. Is not very relevant for a sunlight shield, which has no weight and no armor. It must be said. All right, down into the depths.
Now ain't this
At this point, we're bullying these bandits. Really only have to watch out for high-level tricksters and high-level range bandits. High-level like two-handers or heavy armor bandits are not an issue at all. Even like sword and board bandits aren't that big of a deal because we just, you know, bash their shield till they die. You can play pretty aggressively with this kind of build because the stamina cost for hitting someone's shield is much less than if you were to do a full swing because it's based off the animation, and the animation for the for your hit getting blocked is much shorter than that of a full swing. So here, just gonna do a couple undead. I mean, this is what the build excels against. So yeah, pretty much almost one hitting these skeletons with such low enchanting and infusion damage is nice to see. Really have that sunlight damage coming through. I think that's a 4 hit. Well, 4 hit if you do a power stack at the end, but here I thought that I bought a master key from Alvor, an expert one, but I did not, so unlucky. I think we're moving on to, yeah, Red Ruin's Retreat. So yeah, all these bandits, I think, like without cutting or anything, it took me like 40 minutes to run through all these. So we were going at a pretty quick pace here. Just boom, 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 boom. I mean, I still have my same buffs up from the very beginning. Vegetable soup, tonic, potion of regeneration, all that stuff is still going from the very beginning of the, from the very start. So here in Red Ruin's Retreat, it's pretty easy. You have one range bandit up front. Then you have some sort of heavy armor melee bandit, and then you have the boss bandit, which can be any kind of bandit. It can be a trickster, it can be a ranged, or it can be a heavy armor two-hander or sword and board. I mean, one-handed shield. Here we get a heavy armor two-handed. So exactly what, or no, a heavy. Yeah, she's the boss. A heavy armor mace and shield. So kind of exactly what we wanted to see, honestly. I mean, still pretty scary, but actually, what's really scary is just that freaking range bandit that we weren't able to take care of. Sometimes all the bandits get alerted. And here we get a little surprise, actually. What's the surprise, you say? Oh, well, you shall see. It's a surprise cat. Wow. Here to help us. And then here I'm like, oh shit. I almost used up all of my stamina and only got the saber cat halfway down, so definitely wanted to wait until I got more stamina and I could take my time and take care of this saber cat, yeah, with a bash and then hitting it. Because if I just kept swinging there and he knocked me down, then I was going to be toast. Because not only am I knocked down and it's just doing free damage to me, but I'm taking more damage because I use up all of my stamina. Another free leak there, or not free, but on the bandit, so more vegetable soup for me. But the food costs aren't even that bad anymore, so it's just nice to be able to craft your own. One insight here, of course, because Veteran's Retreat is notoriously bad about giving low amounts of insights. I think the max is 2 here. I don't think I've ever seen more than 2 insights in this chest. Same thing for the Whiterun Overhang. It's just like intentionally gives you lower amounts of insights because it's, I mean, in fairness, this is a pretty easy dungeon. It's only 3 bandits and a dog. Speaking of the Whiterun Overhang,
You picked a bad time to get lost.
You'll pay for that.
just, you know, your normal bandit destruction. And here we're going to use our unperked knock spell. Apprentice stone is really nice for this too. Accidentally equipped my wrong hand. Nice chilling oil in case we want to go to Soul Slime. And Soul Slime is a nice start too. Maybe if this doesn't work out, I'll try a Soul Slime start with this because sunlight weapons work really well against like ash spawn and stuff. And here's just like a classic example of overconfidence because I've just been smashing bandits like for the last 40 minutes. And so, you know, just tanking free Warhammer hits to the face. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Besides that orc boss at Halted Stream Camp, that was probably the closest I've come to getting smacked. Just embarrassing this guy, honestly. All right, that's our normal route here for doing these Whiterun bandits. We'll go into town now. We'll buy our effigy, go into town, do the random quests, and then we'll head back out to do probably. I don't know if I want to do more bandits for the next one. I could do Avenge and Zell pretty reliably, especially now that I have this block perk. I may want to do Avenge and Zell just so I can get some, get a Grand Soul Gem. Guaranteed Grand Soul Gem from the last. Well, it's not guaranteed. If I don't actually kill him, then I don't get the Grand Soul Gem. But just doing some vendoring. Not sure why I'm showing this, but you know, just in case. And then we'll go and we'll turn in our random quests that we've done and or do some random quests, just the normal town stuff.
Tell me. I'm glad to. With
beat some skeleton ass.
I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacombs.
Not literally, with the mace. With the power of the sun. So here I've died way too many times in this place, just underestimating the skeletons. So really what you want to do is you just want to run around without engaging any of them at least one time, just so you can get all of them right in front of you and not try and like run past them. Pretty much every time that I've died in here, it's been trying to run past a skeleton as they do some like their power attack or whatever, and then I just get like absolutely smacked. But this time went easy breezy, extra cheesy. So yeah, let me know. We're winding down here. Let me know about the format, what you think. Like I said, it's probably going to be easier for me going forward, and rather than streaming, is to do some pre-recorded stuff like this. So yeah, let me know what you think. And then yeah, just finishing up the last couple of quests. Gonna go get our stuff from Arcadia, and then we're all set up for our next foray into some bandit content. Maybe we'll do a Vaunt and sale, we'll see. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.